I enjoy maths because I find it quite useful because it is helpful in everyday life. You use it every day. I would like to be a game designer because I find the job interesting. I tried to make my own game, but I failed miserably. And I went on a journey and met new people who develop games. So what's your job?
I'm a game designer, so I'm basically the creative vision holder for a game. I'm sort of responsible for making sure that the final game's fun.
The game designer is a communicating point between the game's programmer and the artist, but he is more like the leader of the whole team. So how's the game balanced?
First of all, we need to have a sort of complete list of features that we have in the game. So for Fangs Out, it'll be all the helicopters in the game, all the different weapons and items and accessories that we can have. All these items will also have stats attached to them.
Which includes like stats of weapons and helicopters and how fast they turn and how much armor they have.
And I'll keep track of all these stats in a spreadsheet. And it'll just be numerical values, basically, and be working through them, and I'll be testing the game, and if something's a little bit too strong or too weak, I can adjust it accordingly. And they all have to kind of work together.
So how do you decide on the difficulty of the levels?
Well, we usually start out with a basic plan to try and map out the difficulty curve of the game, and that could be like an exponential graph. And that relates back to game stats, so we're working with the stats in accordance to that graph.
So the further you go in the game, the harder the levels get? You get like more terrains, enemies?
The main way of testing the difficulty is just through trial and error. We'll have players playing the game and sort of giving us feedback, and then we'll work that into the design. There's really a broad sort of scope of maths that are involved. I mean, I find myself kind of reverting back to some old high school maths sometimes, just coming up with some basic formulas. There's quite a lot of number crunching.
There's a lot of research put into finding out how the vehicles are made.
And I want to get a good understanding of how they work, and I'll be kind of looking into some more applied maths or physics, if you like. It does vary with every game, because every game we do could potentially be a lot different.
So the game Quest, what's it based on?
The Quest is based on a Rubik's Cube, but instead of solving the cube, you are actually trying to create a path for your little knight Steve to follow the tea-bag trail to finally reach God's favourite coffee mug, the Holy Grail.
I was wondering what coding was, and is it difficult?
I don't know, I imagine coding as solving a series of puzzles. If you want to build a game, then it's thousands or even millions of lines of code that you need.
Coding is basically lines of text which give computers command to carry out a certain task, like moving a character from one place to another place. The maths involved in the programming are the interpolation, matrix maths, and vector analysis.
For all the 3D or even 2D stuff, everything graphical, you have a lot of matrix math. That one would be an object in its neutral position, so at pretty much 0 or at the M coordinates there. And then you've got the rotation part here, and those ones there would be the scaling portion. You've got vector math, because we use vectors to describe the position of the objects. Obviously coordinates, because 3D coordinate system that you have to deal with. Interpolation, for example, where you have 2 points and you need to find the value in between at a certain point of time, for example. So if your character is moving from there to there, then I only have the start point and the end point, and the time it'll take for him to move there.
Being a Guerrilla Thief, it was a really great experience because I learned a lot about the jobs they carry out every day, and I just found it interesting that the game designing is so fun and interesting.